Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of Gracefall, Midwinter's Past. Let's see. What happened? Let's sum up. It's been a while. Hi, welcome back, everyone, and Happy New Year. Let's talk about what has happened in the first 8 episodes of Gracefall for all you folks at home. And thank you to Marty and Jay for subbing. Let me say that on air instead of just in chat. In episode 1, the party was on an airship dropping from the moon to the planet below, Elsyer. They have been hired by the Greene Corporation to explore the planet below and set up a base and kind of explore and collect resources. They were attacked by a giant bird. They met a lightning raccoon named Queen Zapzaps. Let's see. They found out all the humans who touch foot on Elsyer are werewolves. Some half-elves as well, it depends.
Wait, all of them?
So far, the case study is every human is a werewolf.
That's...
Glad none of us chose that race option.
I
don't know, it would have been kind of sick.
Yeah, well, I might not have done it then. Let's see. Or I would have just picked a different race. Let's see. Werewolves. You fought the Jersey Devil. All this is available on our YouTube.
That part I didn't remember.
Well, you were gone. Clangley was on autopilot, low power mode,
Right.
for that episode. What else happened? You found something called the Iridescent Danger Glade, which makes humanoids, non-construct humanoids explode and supercharges construct humanoids' batteries. Claire started doing experiments on the bones from the Danger Glade. Any kind of material in there becomes a version of residuum, which is like a magical ore that powers things and does whatever I need it to do.
His name Unobtainian was trademarked.
It was. Residuum is from
Really?
an older edition of D&D. I think it's from 4th edition. But I saw it in some other game recently, and I was like, huh, really? Let's think. There's that. There was a murder mystery last time. You all found it. And
Mystery is a little generous.
there was a murder. There was an attempted murder.
An attempted murder.
An attempted murder. And then Wynne adopted an armadillo lion little cub. So let's start with, does that have a name?
So is it more armadillo or is it more lion?
It's probably more armadillo than lion. Like, the head is very lion-esque, but it's covered in a big carapace. Like, it's less ball-like than an armadillo is. It is kind of sleeker, but it's like Battle Cat from He-Man.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Then its name is Roly Poly.
Roly Poly.
Good.
Okay, so we have Spicy, the fire hedgehog, Roly Poly, the armadillion, and you all. Oh, this is important. They all live in New Spice City. That is the name of the base.
Like,
That was the big highlight of last session.
Yeah.
Was New Spice City.
I'm sure I missed things as well in between there, but go watch the episodes for the full experience. Like us discovering New Spice City. Okay. Let me get on my little notebook. Okay. So... Okay. Um, um, let's see. It's been a couple days since the exciting events of last episode, now available on our YouTube, episode 8 countdown. And indeed, Midwinter is approaching, which is a holiday, much like Christmas. But it's like Christmas and New Year's kind of wrapped together. It's gift giving, big feasts. It's become very commercialized. They've taken the Evangeline out of Midwinter. That doesn't work as well as other things. A whole section of the city disappeared one Midwinter, and just nobody talks about it really.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to ask questions about that.
But there is a company mandated Midwinter party.
Oh, of course there is.
And forced merriment and cheer and games. Corporate exercises.
Team building exercises.
Team building exercises.
That we can synergize and reinforce our core competencies.
You said words and they just didn't mean anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's... Sorry, I've been applying for jobs for like the past week, and it's like, yep, no, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. It's great. I only have to do one meeting a week, thankfully. Okay. So you're all also handed a certificate, which is your Christmas bonus, which is a $50 gift card to the company store, which has not been set up yet, but will be soon.
Has it also been taken out of our regular paychecks?
It is taxed, so yes. And it's taxed as a bonus. It's the worst. My last job.
Clangley's already like, let's bring this up at the next union meeting.
It's not making royalties off of patents. Oh my goodness.
Sorry. I'm just thinking about patents now, because that's my job.
Then you are going to like Issabel's grandfather if he ever comes up.
Excellent. Oh, I have an idea for that. Hold on. Let me write something down.
Oh no.
Aw, Jay, you gave him plot.
I've been meaning to give an entire family tree, but I need to sit down and actually make it, so...
Oh my god, I've been through that.
Oh, I just gave Andy a bunch of random names. I'm like, we can do it when it comes up.
It's fine. You also gave me a book that's just like, has fake stuff in it, or real, baby. Okay. So, there is kind of, you've all been to a holiday party you don't want to go to, I assume. They're not fun. Even the good ones are mediocre parties. So there's like a bunch of pamphlets being handed out that are like company policies and like kind of really generic, like here's our end of year statement kind of thing. And, looking forward to being obsessed with companies and corporations, and it's all nonsense, all corporate nonsense. But there are people, there are people here who are nice, so it's certainly, there is fun to be had. It's just a forced fun that makes it less fun.
Why is no one having fun? I specifically requested it.
Okay. Is there anything anyone would like to do in particular? or is it just kind of be milling about?
Claire has absolutely shut down any and all attempts to interact with her and has taken to taking those company pamphlets that are being held out and just like folding them into origami shapes. That the longer the party goes on, the more intricate they seem to get. There is absolutely one of Queen Zap Zap's by the end of it.
Ooh.
The big one that's Queen Zap Zaps and a whole bunch of little ones.
Exactly.
If you pull on Queen Zap Zap's tail, little lightning bolts come out of the crown.
Oh, that's lovely.
An excellent use of prestidigitation.
Okay, so Claire is me at a party. She's shut down. Has found an activity for herself.
At one point, someone does come up to her and she does shut down. Just powers off. Nope.
Just leaves. Clangley
is trying very hard to make this party fun for his kind of other fellow Warforged. He does try to kind of talk to Claire a little bit, but I'm assuming Claire just,
She doesn't.
Oh, come on.
Hold on. This is early.
This is early, and this one was...
wow.
Oh, there it goes. But to say, this is a freeze and not just...
Yeah. Clangley had walked up to Claire, and Claire said...
Claire did not shut down upon seeing Clangley, but instead of talking, she just progressively hands him little origami pieces.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Until there are a couple in his hat.
Clangley will leave a few of his favorites up there.
Huh.
And he will just kind of let Claire, leave her to her own devices.
Okay. Wynne.
Wynne is probably around where any, if there's a little buffet going on, she's probably over there just kind of sneaking little bits of food into her pocket. Just extra for Roly Poly, who's probably back in her tent.
Just kind of shuffling along the ground. The side armor is so big you can't really see the legs yet. So it's just Roomba-ing about. Okay. And Issabel.
Issabel's chief engineer, so she probably has obligations. She's trying her best to enjoy it, and she's no stranger to pointless frivolities.
You're a noble.
Exactly, but she would rather be sitting in the corner with Claire, and that is occasionally obvious.
So you've been recruited to do this thing where it wasn't quite ready yet, but Commander Crawford is kind of insisting you try and get it ready early. It's a communications relay, and it's just draining a lot more power than you all have the resources for, but it's trying to get a signal to the moon and receive one from the moon. And every once in a while, the power just dims in the whole camp, and it'll come back, and it's a lot of folks, a lot of the engineers are kind of, you can tell some of them would much rather be drunk somewhere else in this party, but they're kind of bickering at this thing and trying to know that this one goes here and that one goes here. You're an idiot. You're already drunk. How dare you? It's a breaking point. It's a good holiday party. I am drunk.
Stop
it's a holiday party.
Echo drunk. They can't even drink.
Thank you.
Go hook up one of the planet dropper engines to it. We'll power it that way.
Okay, yeah.
It's
So
loud.
start spooling a cable. Just fine. Plug it into the ship. It's like one of those.
Probably be okay.
I guess Wynne would
The
probably.
engines are built for this.
I would think Wynne would probably have maybe suggested putting the whole thing in the danger glade, because that's supposed to supercharge, like, electrical stuff, isn't it?
Actually, a very good idea.
That is actually a very good idea, and I think we wanted to build it on, like, we wanted to build part of a communications tower on the one that's stuck in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Problem is reassembling the engine in the danger glade when 2 of my engineers are Warforged.
Make them work faster.
Thought you were a union guy. Now you're talking like a supervisor.
Yeah, that's kind of out of character. I didn't say that.
I mean, it doesn't matter when it gets done. It's just
Well, if we want it done by tonight, we'll make it work.
Here's my list of engineers.
I have it here if you would like me to get it too. It's just their names and...
Yeah, I don't know where I put mine. If you could send it to me, that would be most excellent.
Yeah, I'm sending it now.
Thank you. I'm sure I put it on a postcard I lost. Thank you. Putting it in the campaign so I don't lose it. Okay. Okay, perfect. So do you want to do the thing that Wynne suggested and try and drag some part of the battery apparatus into the danger glade and try and hypercharge that?
Yes.
Okay. So
Gonna need extra cable.
yes. So you start unspooling other cables. Crap. Hold on. That was my stupid fault. Hold, please.
Need more cable.
Okay, now we're gonna have to run extra cables. We're gonna set it up through an extra couple of capacitors just so that it has something in the glade to interact with.
Okay. So yeah, you start.
We should double check the engine vents before we turn the engine on to make sure that the ship doesn't try to fly.
You can see Bits kind of looks at the vents and like very like quietly hits a button that opens them like they had totally been closed. Okay, so you all start doing that. While that's happening, Claire, Kayla Crawford kind of nods and walks over to, after kind of a minute, it looks like she's thinking for a little bit. She walks over to Claire And she says, "Yeah, you having a good time?"
Claire holds up a little origami lightning bolt raccoon and does the best approximation of a smile she can.
She's like, "Okay, that's good, because I have a proposition for you, sort of an extracurricular assignment."
What?
I see you've been, doing experiments late into the night. Just wondering if you could share some findings, maybe in exchange for better equipment, better subjects.
Where are these things coming from?
What things?
The better equipment and subjects.
From the Greene Corporation.
What subjects and what equipment?
What do you need? Get you additional Warforged batteries, other magic items, crystals, residuum.
Aren't we supposed to be getting residuum while we're here?
Mm-hmm. But I could allocate more residuum to your experiments if you think that would be beneficial in the long term to arcane studies.
All of my findings are open to the public. Just come into my hole whenever you see fit if you want to know anything.
Yeah, but
And that's that. And then she pops up off of a little stool that she's and goes off to find what it is they're doing with the engine.
no. Open to the public means we don't own it. Come back.
It doesn't work for
Issabel
you.
has been subtly writing draft patents for open source for Claire's work for her.
No. Creative Commons, no!
My one weakness.
It's public domain! How could you?
Grandpa Enoch always said, file your patents, then announce your findings.
Yeah. Also, I don't think she technically works for them. She just kind of is here.
She never really signed anything.
You're not on any manifest, which is why I need you to actually, sign a contract.
Legally, anyone else here, they would have rights to our work, but no.
Oddly enough, anytime anyone ever tries to come with her for a contract, Claire is just suspiciously not there. The light will be on in her little workshop and you hear something, but then someone knocks on her door with a contract in her hand and they open the door and she's not there anymore.
Yeah, it's a level 4 wizard spell, a sense contract. Or turn the legal.
It's Claire's
legal.
new.
There, that's the joke. Sorry.
It's Claire's new enhanced residuum ability, which is fuck contract.
I cast Abjure Lawyer. Okay. So
also, Claire doesn't really need anything right now. You don't know where she's getting what she's getting, but she seems to be
Don't worry about
situated just fine.
Okay. So, pardon me. Okay. So,
Is my professional opinion as an engineer and fellow wizard, don't worry about it.
okay. So, Clangley, you've probably been asked to help with orchestrating some of the moving of cables and such. As Wynne continues to steal scraps of food. So you get the cable going. Yeah, putting it into the danger glade adds a consistency to the power draw that it's not having any trouble anymore, and it kind of it hums to life, and the big satellite dish is hand cranked into position by Fred, and there is a series of crystals kind of on the front of it that a bunch of it's like a video game puzzle. All the lights bounce through it, and a little flickering hologram of Hugo Greene appears.
Oh, good. My favorite person.
So, and you can kind of hear like a little cheer behind him, because clearly the picture has like resolved, and he says, "Oh yes, hello, and welcome, or not welcome, greetings. I would just like to wish you all, on behalf of the Greene Corporation, all the best on this great holiday. Everyone here wants you to have a happy holiday and a great new year, exploring the wonderful planets below and finding such resources that are necessary to the future of our home. You are all doing the best work you can, and I'm so impressed with you, and I can't wait to join you on the surface next year." And there's a smattering of applause from like the people behind him, and like Kayla Crawford's kind of like, somebody applaud. Like, God damn it. Thank you, Wynne. He says, "I've always dreamed of travel exploration and leaving the lunar bonds of our home. And I can't believe it's a true reality that I will get to experience." And he kind of just continues droning on. You can see Fred kind of like kicks one of the crystals, kicks one of the cables, and like the audio just cuts out. And he's like, "Oh no!" And he's kind of trying to like slow boat fixing it. Plugs back in.
Mr. Greene, you're muted.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, all the past 2 years of nonsense.
My boss had muted everyone else in a call recently, and he continued to just talk over everyone because he thought no one was talking.
How do you know he didn't do it on purpose?
Because I know. Because he kept being like, "Well, I guess no one has anything to add." Said, "No, we're talking. Someone is talking." Okay. So that kind of drones on. People are sick of it. And that wraps up, and there's unctuous applause from the other side, and kind of glad handing, and yeah, not a lot down here. Kayla kind of Thank you, Mr. Greene, and kind of turns off the call. And she says, on a similar note, I want to thank all of you for all of the great work you've done, and it's really, really impressive and truly an honor to get to work with you all. And I hope that in the future we can indeed succeed at everything we've set out to do. And have fun. I know this isn't the best, but I know some of you would much rather be back with your families. But there is free alcohol. Drink away. Have a good one. Like, grabs a beer, just necks it. Okay. Let's see. Milling about. Okay. Issabel. Matilda, you're the quartermaster who was on your first drop jammer ship and has been kind of around. She's one of the werewolves. She comes up to you and she says, so do you think you could build something that doesn't turn people into werewolves? Like, that stops it. Maybe you or your friend, one of your friends.
I know the answer to that, but it's not the answer that I want to give you, so I'm hesitating to give it.
I'll do anything.
I know, but don't know enough about what's actually going on that's causing this. Be able to intervene with it yet. Fortunately, I think for now, the best we can hope for is containment.
So, that residuum stuff's really impressive. Do you think it could, I don't know, do something?
It could make you explode. If you'd prefer that.
No, I just, like, I don't know.
It amplifies magical effects around it. For all we know, it would turn you from the sort of wolf monster you were last time into a bigger, scarier wolf monster.
Okay. It's just, I'm no wizard or scientist. I just thought, I don't know.
Can Claire overhear this conversation?
Yes.
Okay. Claire is suddenly there. You don't know how she got there, but she's there.
Just stool
Isabel's
being
probably
dragged.
so used to that at this point.
He's like, I'm usually better with things that are dead. But I did.
Great start.
Someone. I don't know. I have memories of a medical license. Follow me. And then she starts like hobbling off to her little workshop, to her little hideaway.
Yeah, we'll look at you, Issa. Like,
Isabel's just gonna go with Claire as an excuse to not be here.
follow, I guess.
Yeah, and so Claire opens her little hideaway, and she leads her to like the back where there is kind of like a little doctor's office set up, for lack of a better term, like a
Okay.
little nurse's office. She has all the little like healing crystals are all like set up on a little shelf there, all neat and nice and put away. And there's a little cot there, and there are some like anatomical charts for various races.
Just kind of quick looking at one. Is that what elves look like? Oh. Okay, yeah.
It's like I managed to drag these up out of the few little medical texts that were with us when we landed, and if there is any request for materials going out, these are always helpful. However, if they are of a quid pro quo nature, I can make do with these. Sit, please.
She'll sit.
Do I have your permission to give a medical examination?
Yeah.
Okay. And so she basically proceeds to conduct what is a physical, like checking and poking and prodding and asking questions and like looking in her eyes and her ears and seeing what she can see.
Okay, yeah, I mean, she is a woman in good health. Her blood pressure is high. She says, I'm stressed.
You might want to work on that.
Sure. Thanks.
Do have an open bar tonight, so...
She also says she has not been sleeping well.
Do have an open bar tonight, so...
Tell me, do your sleep patterns get worse on the approach of the full moon? Have we not been here, or have we not been here long enough?
You've only experienced one full moon. It was that first one. You're about halfway there. She says the sleep was worse right after the full moon.
Interesting. Claire is going to bring like a small piece of residuum over. She's like, all right, I'm going to bring this closer to you, and I want you to tell me if you feel anything. Slowly bring it closer.
She kind of looks at Claire and then at Issabel, and she's kind of like, bad vibes?
All right, and Claire brings it closer to her. Bad vibes, worse or better?
1 or 2?
Vibes 1, vibes 2.
Yeah.
Vibes 1, vibes 2. Which vibes are worse?
Yeah, the closer it gets, she says, worse. But I don't know if that... Yeah. Worse.
Interesting. Probably can't do any x-rays here.
You want to irradiate me?
Only a little.
It's just a perfectly safe amount. While I'm behind this lead shield.
All right. So Claire begins to like note down everything that she's observed, and he's like, "All right. Here's what I want you to do for me. Every night, I want you to mark down your sleep patterns, and then come see me the night before the full moon. Also, watch your blood pressure."
I'll try and eat less sodium. Okay.
I'm sorry that I don't have a quick solution for you, but unfortunately the nature of my type, or the nature of my study is observation over long periods of time, as is the nature of most medical discoveries, so this isn't going to be a one and done.
So I just, like, it's not a vitamin.
No.
No.
They didn't bring very many of those with us, I'm afraid.
Shockingly few medics as well, now that I'm thinking of it.
Huh. Kind of thinks for a second. It's like, you'd be surprised how many people have scurvy.
Oh. I mean, upon hearing that, I think Wynne would like Druid craft like a lemon tree or something.
God damn it. It's lemon tree. Lemon tree. I love it. Just Mary Midwinter handing out lemons. Suck on it, please. Put it in your drink, something.
Give it a little zest over your dish. Add some brightness. Anything.
It's just,
Gin and tonics for everyone.
woo! Okay, yeah. Matilda kind of nods and she goes, "Yeah, no, that makes sense."
We'll keep you under observation, and hopefully I will not have to perform an autopsy.
An autopsy.
What?
From 0 to 11 right there, Miss Claire.
What kind of doctor are you?
Really?
Don't worry about it.
Anyway,
Remember my
The
blood
kind that
pressure?
we have available.
I'm not feeling so great. Just kind of.
Don't worry, I'm sure they have at least one ethics course in Necromancy school.
It's optional.
it was an elective.
It's elective. I didn't minor in morality.
Yours was an elective? For evocation, they made us take it year 1.
It's called When's a Fireball.
The answer was always.
It's a very short course.
It's like that one class in community. It's like, can it be fried? Or it's like, can I use a fireball in this situation? Like, how about him? Yes. How about here? Yes. It's the whole class.
I asked how big the room was. I don't need your back talk, DM. Okay. Matilda will get up and leave, slightly disconcerted or concerned.
That's how most people leave Claire's little thing,
It's-
little place.
Kind of walks out and be like, "We need another doctor." She doesn't even work here.
It doesn't even go here.
Okay. Clangley, you've been recruited into various sort of like an impromptu like soccer game, kind of like people are trying to get you to play. I don't know if you would, but the Warforged have kind of started like a little soccer scrum. There's also like a singing kind of chain kind of thing. They've not isolated themselves, but because y'all can't drink alcohol, you're doing a different thing. So that's kind of happening off to the side. And the party otherwise goes by fairly uneventfully. Sorry, hold on a second. There. Pardon me.
Hello, Lily.
Dog.
Pet.
Is there a dog?
She wanted to hang out with me. She's down here though, so you can't see her. Sorry.
Boo.
It's okay. Just knowing she's there.
I was about to say, her presence is felt.
She just left.
Well, game's
Well,
ruined.
it was felt.
Game's ruined.
I have to say, sometimes my older sister's dog will barge into my room, and she'll stand right there, just looking at me like a Skyrim NPC. Just like legs spread, arms wide.
Oh, did somebody steal your sweet thrall? Why are you here? What are you doing in my house? Okay. So eventually, kind of around the campfire, as everything starts to die down, people start telling kind of stories about their family, about Midwinter's past. We did it. It only took 45 minutes.
He said the thing.
All right, stream over. Everybody pack it up. Let's go.
Great New Year, everybody. I'll see you in 2023. Issabel, you can kind of hear somebody is talking about like the mysterious disappearance of Keldon. And how it just disappeared one midwinter, and there was a grumpy old man kind of in charge, and nobody knows what happened to it. Hand raised. God, Issabel.
We burned his house down.
I haven't heard that part of the story. Who's we?
I'm actually writing a letter to one of them, my friend Korg, back from home. So last midwinter, I was visiting the city of Waterdeep. I was helping my family move a shipment of just rare materials from the port city up north to home. We don't know why. We ended up in Keldon, or how, but somehow we did. And truth be told, it was where I was trying to go when I ended up here. Try to make good on a promise. Yeah, and the old man became what's known as I think a dreadlord? I tried to do some look into it, but it's really one of those subjects that's just kind of a lot of hearsay and not really a lot of concrete theory to it. Yeah, we burned his house down because he was a bad person that made a deal with a demon.
Okay, that
And
is
there
totally
were a lot of
ghosts.
A lot of ghosts.
So really,
Korg at one point got like aged 30 years. He kind of stopped adventuring after all of this.
yeah, that's not the version of the story I've heard at all. But that's certainly a more concrete ending than disappeared. So you burned down the old man's house. He was there were songs about him. He's terrible. He was secretive.
Yes, I heard even vegetables didn't like him.
No, it's even worse for Mises. He was secretive like a clam. Other quotes from A Christmas Carol / A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Light the lamp, not the rat. Mm-hmm.
Oh. We don't get Rizzo anymore because that guy left or was fired. Kind of nods. Well, the love is gone. That's it. Kind of
Rant about how that song just kills the pace of that movie.
So bad, but it's referenced several times, even when it's cut. So
Great scene, terrible song.
I need it, I guess. The person telling the story says, "So, what do you think they're gonna come back? They've been gone for 20 years."
Pardon?
It disappeared from the city 20 years ago.
Interesting. It sounded like when we were there, it was always almost perpetually almost midwinter, but I would need to find someone who does research on the plains, and from what I can tell, you don't have those here, so more questions for if I get home.
Okay. If you'd like to find out more, watch our 3-episode Keldon series, Celdon. Stories continue. The person telling the story seems kind of lost after that. Like, they always kind of just thought it was, like a story, and you're making it like real.
Yeah, it's place. Been there.
There we go. Okay. Would anyone else like to do anything at this party before we wrap it up? Wrap up the party. There's still like an hour left.
Clangley is going to sort of get up and give a speech about how, it's a very corny but very genuine speech about how much he appreciates all of his, everyone who came out and everyone who's helping work and everyone who's all the members of the union and so on and so forth and all the new friends they've made. It's just a very heartfelt speech. Mostly to the Warforged, but he kind of extends it to everyone else towards the end. Yeah. It's like, and our new friends and whatnot.
And even though the content is, by its very nature, similar to what Hugo Greene was saying, because yours is actually genuine and heartfelt, and you've been shoulder to shoulder with these people, it is.
I didn't want to say it, but
much better received than his, and kind of genuine applause, genuine cheers, lots of clapping on shoulders, actual camaraderie, kind of hugging and carols start to break out afterwards, and that jolly midwinter season. And it actually feels like a little family down here, for even if just for a little bit. Okay.
Towards the end of the night, Claire is going to use Mage Hand to drop into the hands of all her party members a little carving made out of the residuum bone. For Issa, there's a little wrench. For Wynne, there's a little spicy. And for Clangley, there's a little top hat. And they're like ornaments.
Aww. It's both cute and kind of creepy.
This is made of a person's bones.
It's not people bones. It's definitely animal bones. But
that makes it still, okay then.
It's still bone residuum.
I'm sorry. It was Wynne.
Wynne has a little spicy.
Spicy.
Yes. Issa has a very intricate wrench, and then Clangley has a top hat. With a little steam pipe coming out of it.
Okay. When you hand them to each of them,
she doesn't hand them. She
mage hands,
from
right?
Across the drops it into each of their drinks.
Okay.
Why my drink though?
I wasn't done.
Oh, now I suppose I have to get another one.
Oh no. Okay.
You get the feeling that Claire would rather die than show affection in person.
The three of you, once a day, you can get advantage on any roll you want.
Ooh.
Using those trinkets.
Neat.
It's very sweet of you.
I'll write that up and add it to your sheet. But basically one time advantage. And to reiterate, because I know everyone plays with advantage differently, various games. You can roll first, see what you get, and then choose. I don't care. It's more fun. Failure is fun, except when you really don't want to fail. Okay. The party goes on, and after the kind of the beginning half of any holiday party sucks. The end half gets a lot more fun.
Once people have been drinking and all of the
Yeah.
stuff that you're supposed to do is done.
Yeah, all the
Exactly.
bosses have left. There's a bunch of fireworks now. You're like, this isn't safe. You're in a swamp. Okay. But also kind of base building news wise, you now have a communication tower that goes back to the moon.
Woo.
Part of the pamphlets you all received, there was like a little under your $50 gift card to the company store TBD. There is a little ballot that is once again asking what you want to focus on for the foreseeable future, building wise. So you all focused on lumber last time, and there is actually like a proper little company town now. Like there are buildings. They're still being rebuilt. They're being like added to and built up even more. But everyone has a house of some kind. All of the main buildings, they're not tents anymore. They're buildings, and a wall is continuing to be built. So you could focus on residuum, which would let you power more powerful devices. Although maybe they might have just figured out a hack of just a bunch of cables. Now they would run out of cable at some point, so they need to start mining. Do that. Or focus on exploration and kind of expanding the map. And you all can do that anyway, because you're the main characters, the adventurers. So you all can do whatever you want, but the resources of the collective can be leveraged. That sounds an awful lot like communism, and that's not what this company believes in.
Hate this company.
It's so stupid. No, it's all for the greater good of the company and bullshit. So yeah. Would you all like to discuss that amongst yourselves or just vote? And like before, whatever you vote for is what everybody votes for.
Now, what are the remaining options again?
So, okay. So you can start mining, which would have, depending on what is found, I'm going to roll on a chart. Depending on what's found, would have kind of mysterious ramifications. If you find gold, you might do something. If you tin, metal, build up certain things. Residuum will help you power more powerful devices of some kind. Communication relays, ships. You can get the ships working again. You can maybe retrofit the ships into smaller vehicles for exploration. So it'll kind of open up a couple other map things. Or you can focus on like clearing out the map, the fog of the map, making sure you know what's actually around you. You really only have, so much, like 10 square miles kind of very well plotted. Probably more than that. Maybe 50 square miles kind of well plotted. You have like this area, the kind of the swamp, a couple of the forests around you, the Danger Glade, Queen Zap's domain, that kind of stuff. Or if anyone has a suggestion, feel free. Farming. You could also start trying to cultivate things. There is a farm. It's just not very big. Certainly, you're not in any danger of running out of food. That's why half the crew is Warforged.
I like the idea. Oh, go ahead, Dan.
You go first.
I like the residuum idea.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I think it might be. Sorry, mining time or residuum time? I'm a little confused. So there's. Okay, so I get it. There's a way to basically making residuum with the danger glade or mining essentially.
Yeah, so you might find residuum while mining. There is a difference between danger glade and residuum and mined residuum, at least residuum from the moon. You don't know if it's different mined here. But in addition to residuum, you might find, other metals or minerals or ores. So tin, copper, gold, silver, iron.
I don't mind. I think I'm between residuum and mining. I'm kind of leaning towards mining. What's everyone else thinking?
Same, because Issabel would probably want to be focused on fuel production to help get the ships working again, and that would need more than just residuum, so mining, I think, would fit better. We find coal seams, we find weird acids underground, like, those are useful to her, so.
Also dungeons.
Dungeons.
Well, I guess, yeah, Wynne would probably either mining or exploration. And you figure mining's going to open a new biome for her to explore.
Also, Issabel low-key excited to be underground again. She probably misses it.
Okay. So it sounds like mining is going to win the day. However, the good thing about mining is there is a good chance you will find residuum. And you also explore underground. So,
The goal.
So the results will be tabulated, and mining will be the next focus of the company and the crew. Not a lot is done the next day. People are still recovering. There's a lot of cleanup activities, setting the camp back to normal. They give you a company holiday, a long weekend, so you have 3 days off.
3 whole days. Thanks.
Happy company-wide hangover day, everyone.
Not so loud. Not so loud.
Once
I feel
the
fine.
engineering building isn't exploding.
You're fine. I don't know what you're. All right. Clangley will start cleaning up. Not quite understanding the concept of a hangover.
Why would you do this to yourself?
He just doesn't understand it to begin with. Like,
Don't
what is
worry
how?
about it. I'm just going to wear my welding goggles all day. I'm fine.
It's dehydration. Just drink water. I don't get it.
Leaning on
Claire
Working
uses
on it.
Claire uses her herbalism kit, which is ingrained to her Warforged body, to just make like a community-wide hangover cure, and just sets it outside her thing.
It's Gatorade.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah. Or
You can make Gatorade.
Pedialyte. Okay, yeah. So there's a mysterious blue liquid in the middle of the camp. People are drinking it. They're like, this is pretty good. I feel less bad. Okay.
Please don't get into the habit of doing that. Whatever you just did. I'm not gonna lie to you. Organics get a little bit scary when they're inebriated.
What do you mean? I thought it was better if they weren't slogging all over themselves.
Sorry, I didn't catch the last part of that.
I thought it would be better if they weren't hungover.
Oh, sorry. I meant they don't want. They shouldn't be drinking again.
Oh,
that
okay.
again. No, the hangover cure is great.
It's got electrolytes.
Does that mean it makes good fuel?
Well,
But thinks about it for a second. She's like, "Yeah."
Clangley pours a little bit into kind of his actually, where would Clangley's fuel tank even be? I guess he would just open his mouth and kind of drink some of it.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, and then just a bunch of blue steam comes out of his head. It's like, don't think it works on Warforged.
Okay. Okay. I was double checking. Issabel, you would have remembered. I don't know if this was ever said on stream, but Keldon had been, from their point of view, missing for 10 years. So, from this world's point of view, they've been missing for twice that time. Time's weird. So,
Yep.
But, just an FYI.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Hangover Cure is being distributed. Roly Poly is devouring all of the snacks provided by Wynne from the party. Just vacuuming them up.
Aw.
They've got sharp little kitten fangs. It hurts so bad. But it's so cute.
It's okay. Wynne can cast Cure Wounds.
It's just all of us covered in little scratches. It's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Let's see. There's a cleanup. A couple more days pass. Can I get insight checks from everyone, please?
Probably not, but I can certainly try.
This is gonna be fun.
Ooh.
7.
Would anybody care to guess what my first roll of the year has been?
Nat 1.
Was it a natural one?
Wait, that one.
Solid.
Oh
Back in 2023,
omen.
everybody.
Fire for the course. Go
no!
for
Shut it
it.
down. Pack it in. We're done.
So we're done. Sorry, everybody. See you for episode 10 next year.
Well, I got a 21.
There we go.
Oh,
There's the
dang.
whiz tank.
I
And
got a 9.
Claire. Okay, 9. Jesus. Well, perhaps unsurprisingly, the Claire, Clangley, and Issabel don't really notice that they're all kind of focused on their own thing. That the atmosphere in the camp has gotten a little sour over the last couple of days. But Wynne notices, and it's hard to put your finger on, but just things don't quite seem right. Maybe it's that post-holiday funk. Maybe it's the fact that it's not cold for midwinter, and people were like, it should be cold. This is like Christmas in Australia. Why is it summer? Because that's what it is. And they're used to it. But you all aren't. But yeah, there's just, it's almost like the reverse of seasonal effectiveness disorder. It's just like, it should be miserable and it's not. And that's off-putting. But it's to you, it's like palpable, this feeling. It's almost infectious. Like you were in a fine mood and now you're kind of like, no, not in a bad mood. You're fighting it because, I mean, you feel however you want to feel. But it's catching in a weird way.
I guess Wynne would bring this up to Clangley since he is the union representative. It's
Sorry, could you repeat that? I zoned out a bit. I apologize.
So
Messing with my sheet.
go ahead, Wynne. You go ahead.
Wynne was going to ask Clangley if Clangley had like, felt any weirdness in the camp.
Has he?
Now that it's pointed out to you, yeah. It through the end of the weekend, the atmosphere has become charged in a weird way.
Was the word you used the word charge there, and I'm worried that was a very intentional move.
I don't know what you mean.
Nothing.
I'm innocent. I've never done anything wrong in
Now
my
that
life.
you mention it,
Ever.
yes, it is. It is a little bit odd the way some people are acting around here.
Should we have another camp activity?
What did you have in mind?
I don't know, like some sort of sports adjacent team building exercise?
First thing we want is people being at each other's throats. It could either help or it could go horribly and hilariously wrong. But fortune favors the bold, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's something that everybody can do together. That way, it's still a bonding exercise, even if it's a miserable one.
Exactly.
We can all complain about it later together.
It's true. Misery does love company, after all, but let's try not to make people too miserable. All right, and this will probably be some kind of weird, goat ball game or... Touch goat ball, of course. Let's not get crazy. Although I imagine someone has to step in and say, hey, it's touch, chill, every 5 seconds.
Bumping chests. Issabel would know how to play goat ball, technically. She's from the Forgotten Realms. But you're not underwater, so it is slightly... Although I guess original goat ball is not underwater. It was just... it's originally a Goliath sport, and for whatever reason I made it underwater. I made it blitzball. So they stole... They adapted it from the Goliath sport. And that was full body contact. Also magic loud. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so you start to get like you round up teams and start to divide them and play whatever sport you want. Goat ball, soccer, anything that kind of all you need is a ball in an open field. Okay.
Ancient dwarven sport of toss rock.
Okay. The things seem to kind of level out a little bit, but there is certainly still a certain kind of feeling in the air. Can I get a perception check from Issabel?
Probably not if my insight check is anything to go by. 17, actually.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. Are you participating in the sporting event or no?
No, probably not.
Okay. So sitting in the engineering core, kind of working, you look up, a couple people have gone to participate, but others are here with you still. But kind of looking around, something you hadn't quite put together until right now. You notice that Fred and Vondra, Fred and Vondra, they're missing, and you're like, I don't remember the last time. Like, you saw them at the party, but that was probably the last time you saw them. You're kind of scanning the camp, and you don't see them again.
Where if someone else tore out someone else's heart again.
Who else is there in the engineering building with me right now?
Let's see. Bits is still with you, and Yinsen Tallstep.
Going to ask them if they've seen either Vondra or Fred in the last couple days.
Bits will go, yeah, Fred's right. No. Kind of Yinsen goes through like some like log sheets that they keep. Kind of going through like looking and says Christmas party 2 days ago. Or sorry, Midwinter party. My bad.
How dare, immersion broken.
I know.
Stream canceled. Need to start a new show.
See everybody in 2024. Midwinter party. So 3 days ago. Well, I mean, maybe they're... Did you send them to the other ship?
We haven't given them any new instructions since then, so unless Commander Crawford gave them orders directly, which is uncommon but not unheard of. Can go and ask her, I suppose.
See, Bits.
Isabel's kind of just like looking outside, just checking the weather, like, is it misty out at all?
No, it's a nice, bright, clear day.
Oof.
Bits kind of... His head bobs by. Kind of pokes around and looks at you and says, a lot of their stuff is gone.
Go through their workstations with a bit of discretion. Just try to get a figure if what is gone and what is there that is supposed to be there. I'm going to talk to Commander Crawford.
Got it, Chief. Kind of, with not enough discretion for your taste, starts rooting through things.
Ask the goblin to ransack a desk. I
Yeah.
knew what I was getting to.
You quickly find Commander Crawford. She's refereeing the match and has to continually remind, as Clangley does, it's touch! We gotta stop meeting like this. Chief? What's up?
Yeah, I know. It's one of these days. It's gonna be good news. I promise. A couple of my engineers have gone missing, and so have a few of their possessions.
She shakes her head. She says, I haven't sent anyone anywhere. Folks deserve a little break, even if the company doesn't always agree.
Figured as much, but it didn't hurt to ask.
No, of course. Double checking. I can send folks out to look for them.
That would be prudent. I'll go see. Bits has found anything going through their desks. Make sure he puts it all back and doesn't keep anything that isn't his.
Kind of laughs. She as discreetly as possible gets her assistant Cora kind of talk and says to go find some folks who aren't playing the game right now to start searching.
Where is Wynne right now?
Wynne would probably be at the game, I think, since she's the one who organized it.
Okay, but like, is she participating? Is she watching from the sides? Isabel's
think
gonna
she's-
like try to wave and get her attention.
Okay, I mean, it's more of a strength-based sport, so I'm thinking Wynne would probably be in it, but then people would feel bad for trying to tackle her, so she would, like, keep her head out. But yeah, she'll come over and say, what's up?
How are you at tracking people? Because I might need help finding a couple of my engineers.
I'm pretty good. I tracked the Warforged that tried to kill another one. 'Cause I think that was me.
Yeah. It was.
I'll ask later. I wasn't there for that one. Come with me to the engineering building, please.
Okie doke.
Okay. Do you want to grab Clangley and Claire as well?
You know, for the sake of having everyone together, yes.
Okay. So similarly, grabs. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. So the four of you walk in, and Bits has gone through the desk, and there's a pile, but you can tell there is some organization to it. And Bits just kind of comes up. It's a really awkward salute, like never has done that before, but kind of like, oh, other people are here. I'm going to show respect for my boss.
Put your hand down. You look ridiculous.
Okay, cool. Serious voice. I'm in company. This is how I talk. Okay, Chief. I can't even do it. Okay. The other tools are gone, and I think they stole some Warforged batteries.
Oh, Mr. Clangley, the incident the other week, was taking a battery, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
From a Warforged that was currently using it.
Yes, it was. Loads fists.
They were just backups. These batteries, at least. Just
Jensen, have we seen Spark and Echo in the last few days?
Yinsen says definitely. Yes. And kind of looks around, and indeed they are, they're actually, they're on the sidelines of the game, but they're like calculating like optimal like angles for plays and stuff like that, and they're debating it. Like they've become stat nerds for this game that is like just casually happening.
It's amazing. I love it.
So, but yeah, no, they kind of look and wave.
That's good. Over there. Over there. Just them that's missing. Anything else seem off to anyone, any of you, when perhaps there's something that you are observant in ways we aren't?
Okay, Wynne will look around.
Okay, yeah. Perception or investigation check.
I guess perception is slightly better.
May I roll investigation?
Sure.
I was gonna say that's something I actually have points in. So
Okay, well, I got an
Ooh.
11, so I'm probably not going to find that much.
Claire
Dirty
actually
20.
does have a lot in investigation.
Dirty
dirty
20.
20 as
Yeah.
well.
Dirty 20. And Claire.
Natural 20,
Okay.
which is a
Oh,
25.
Uh,
there you go.
oh, nice. Okay. So looking around, Claire finds a kind of it was jammed behind the desk, and Claire kind of moves the desk a little bit and finds logbooks from Fred, and Fred catalogs everything he stole, and it was just like he checked them out essentially, and then like has a little checklist, and then the logbook indeed ends 3 days ago. But his toolbox, he took a supply of food, 3 Warforged batteries, and a surprising amount of metal.
I can appreciate a man who keeps detailed records, though it seems like he was going away for quite a while. Claire will hand the logbook to Issa.
And Wynne and Issa, with your scores, you also find he had manipulated the stores in such a way where he just basically pushed all of the metal to the front, so it didn't look like any was missing from kind of the storage shed, but it should be like full to the back, and it's not. And it would have taken a decent amount of like effort to move all this metal.
Who exactly? You think we'd notice?
I think we would. Is anyone else missing from the Union, Clangley? I think we
Oh.
froze.
Oh,
Yeah, Dan froze.
I thought he was just thinking. Okay, hold on. Okay, we're back. someone had asked you, Clangley, if you had noticed anyone was missing from the Union.
Oh, okay. Have I noticed?
Uh, ever since the incident, as it will be known, you have been very casually to perhaps not so casually been keeping track of folks. Like you've got wires or feelers out for everybody, making sure everyone's okay, doing even if not personally, having others do wellness checks, kind of like a pod buddy system thing. Yet no Warforged are missing.
Every one of mine is accounted for. Who would have access to this area anyways?
Mostly just all of us engineers, at least the storerooms. Those are mostly under lock and key for everyone but us and perhaps Command, and Commander Crawford hasn't given any orders to them or sold them anything, so whatever they went off to do, they went off to do it themselves. The only thing that is to find them.
Very peculiar.
I mean, I guess the first place to look is the Danger Glade, since if they're going to take a bunch of batteries, it's the only place we really know where to charge them.
I suppose it is. All right, then. I suppose we had best set out sooner rather than later. We don't want this to get any out of hand. Really rather not have anyone ripping each other's hearts out today.
Before we head
T.
there,
Claire kind of like subconsciously puts her hand over her chest, like.
But also check their living quarters first.
Yes, let's do that.
Because we should probably check both, and one of them is closer.
Yeah, so checking the living quarters using the your checks from before. Yeah, similarly, they clearly haven't been used in a couple days. Fred and Vuncher mostly kept to themselves. They were pretty quiet. Like you're not actually surprised if you didn't notice. But also, again, it's been a company holiday for 3 days, so them not showing up to work isn't that weird when you're not really supposed, not supposed to be working, but you're not expected to be working. But yeah, their rooms are both neat, but clearly unused in the last couple of days. I was going to say their fires are cold, but I've already said it's warm here. Okay, so heading out to the Danger Glade, you don't see... there's no one obviously in it, but can I get survival checks, please?
Oh no.
Well, I don't have my dice with me, so we'll see if we can get a survival check.
I was going to say, I can roll on D&D Beyond for you if you would like.
I got an 11.
11. What was
17.
17?
15.
Okay. Some good rolls. Okay. So yeah, if you got above a 15, you all, looking through the glade, you're like, okay, no one's here currently, but you can see that someone clearly cut through it, and you can find tracks beginning on this side and kind of walking around the glade for those who don't want to enter it. They come out on the other side, and they are roughly dwarf-shaped, sized. The whole footprint is shaped like a dwarf. Dwarf stompers. Dwarf-sized footprints.
I mean, I guess we follow them.
Okay.
Yeah, they just walked off into the jungle by themselves.
So you follow them for a decent amount of time. A mile or two through the heavy jungle, so it takes you the heavy woods and jungle, so it takes you Two.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
wow,
two.
There's two. We're so close. Okay. We'll finish this episode, I swear. We're getting there. You follow it. Okay, so about 2 miles through heavy woods, which, again, you're kind of like... They were carrying a lot of shit. You find a... For lack of a better term, a little kind of couple hut village. And there's a glowing sign that has like 2 like jumper cables kind of attached to it. It's neon basically, and it says "Welcome to Fredonia."
Oh dear. How are they spelling Fredonia?
Fredonia.
Okay. So, first of all, is anyone named Fred on the trip?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
the engineers is named Fred.
Okay. All right. So this is what we're doing now, I guess.
We haven't even been here a month, and we've already started a faction war.
And a cult.
Look, we haven't started a war yet.
Give month.
Sure, we can negotiate them to a reasonable a solution to this. What the hell is going on here?
I don't know, but Fred probably brought his cannon.
He's a cannon?
Is what now?
He does everything.
Several.
It's kind of his
Yeah.
deal.
Oh dear, and now he has the batteries too.
He
Isn't
was
there
our other
something in this-
artillerist.
Isn't there something in the contract against this?
Yes.
Oh, almost certainly.
Yes.
There's definitely
Actually-
a non-compete clause.
It's weird. This is one of the few times where I pushed something to be included in the union contract that is in their interest. Because I didn't want any mutinies. They were like, oh no, that's ridiculous, a mutiny won't happen. Lo and behold, Clangley's always right, unfortunately, I suppose.
It's not quite a mutiny yet. The sign says welcome, so let's act as if we are welcome.
True. If it said get the hell out of Fredonia, I'd be much more worried.
I think that sign's at the back.
Actually, it looks like it reverses. Oh no, there's a switch on it.
This infrastructure is quite impressive for such a short time. Alright, let's find who's in charge and figure out what's going on.
Going to guess it's Fred. Fred.
Fred comes out and he's wearing like a little crown of leaves and a kind of a cape of leaves, and he says,
Oh my god.
"Welcome to Fredonia."
Explain.
We'll explain next time in episode 10. Welcome to Fredonia.
Oh, Jesus.
That is so much worse of a cliffhanger than it's evil villain reveal. No, this is somehow a worse cliffhanger. Because this is what I need to know.
You need to lay out what is your constitution, what is your mission statement.
I don't understand Fredonia, and I need to understand Fredonia.
You need to lay out your land boundaries.
I have so many questions, and none of them are going to have good answers.
What is your trade charter with New Spice City?
I have a lot of work to
Are you
do.
a separate political entity from New Spice City, or are you just a new settlement?
Is one of these buildings already designed to be an emissary? Do we need to set one up for you in New Spice City?
So are you a vassal state?
Are we your vassal state? Are you trying?
Yes.
Are you going to try and conquer us?
All I see is I'm king.
Oh, Fred.
That is going to be like
Greetings.
full look upon my work, see mighty in despair in like 2 sessions. I swear.
I have a cannon.
Fred, we've only been here a month. Not even a month.
Not even a month.
I've gone residuum crazy.
We have been here 2.5 weeks.
You don't mind residuum. You work in the engineering department.
I'm not well.
17 days, Fred.
It's 17 days. I have it written down. It's 17 days.
All that talk about idiot doctor. Maybe we should have brought a psychiatrist.
Yes. For sure. Yeah, it's the Red Mars books. I think the psychiatrist might die in the first one, and everything goes to hell after that.
I will say this is based on Victorian times loosely, and I don't know if we super necessarily think a psychiatrist with Victorian sensibilities would help that much.
You have ghosts in your blood. Do cocaine about it.
Exactly.
Have you
You
tried
can't tell me
electrocuting
they
yourself?
did bring cocaine.
You have the hysteria. It's all over. Release your vapors. Welcome back, everybody.
You have the hysteria, but I'm made of metal.
Still, it's the women troubles. Nothing can be done.
Bury yourself out back once a month. The past was terrible. Man, asthma cigarettes.
They're good for your asthma.
They stimulate your T-zone. Speaking of doing cocaine about it, I miss Chimkin.
You miss cocaine?
No, that was when Sean was on Star Chasers. That was Chimkin's whole deal. Was he was just high on cocaine the whole time and talking about Victorian cure-alls.
That was such a good bit.
Yeah.
You're a good snake oil salesman character.
And he was a very good one. Okay. Outros and plugs. Dan.
Hi. So, please get vaccinated, because COVID's bad, guys. It's real bad. I had it. I'm still not entirely recovered from it. Please be healthy. Please follow protocol. And if you're a politician, give us some paid sick days, please. That would probably help more than, like, 95% of what is currently being done is, like, 2 weeks paid sick leave. That's all. Like, that would probably end the pandemic in a couple months. Just saying. Please.
They tell you not to come in to work when you're sick. I don't really give you the time for it, though.
Yeah, and then they
sorry.
By the way, the time off that we do give you for specifically COVID is per pandemic, apparently.
that's normal
Yeah.
and cool.
The only thing
Anyways, I yield my time.
What's Liz?
Oh, I will also plug just the general goodness of vaccines and getting them and washing your hands. And, basic hygiene.
We've only known about it for 100 years. Please do it. Mira.
Oh, my asthma!
Hi, I'm Mira. Fun fact, snake oil was a real thing. It actually worked. But it was only from a specific snake. And because it was a popular remedy among Chinese miners, of course they stole it, ripped it off, completely fucked it up, and now we have the idea of the snake oil salesman. So, cool fun history fact about medicine. Speaking of medicine, get vaccinated, please, for the love of God. I promise it's not that bad. I got 3 of them in me right now. I'm doing
Same.
great.
And Jay.
Get shot, get boosted. Cyberbully your politicians.
Come for you, Ted Cruz.
Please,
God, I'm
please
sorry.
do. Texas deserves so much better than its senator and its governor. I'm not even in Texas, and I hear about the shit that Texas governor does.
Look, I'll
It's
be
bad.
frank. Ted Cruz cyberbullies himself just by existing online, so
Yeah,
only
but me
so much-
cyberbullying only helps.
Can't believe I'm going to endorse bullying, but do it.
And when it comes to politicians, like, yeah, that's
Listen,
politicians. That's how you hold them accountable.
bullying is good with the like when Ted Cruz holds a significant higher position of power than I do.
Yeah, you're punching up then, and that's usually fine.
Bingo.
Yeah, everybody get vaccinated, be well, be safe, be kind. Next week is Star Chaser's first episode of the year. So join us then, won't you? And we'll be back in 2023 for episode 10. No, we'll be back in 2 weeks for episode 10 of Gracefall.
and I'll be back with my old aspect ratio.
Yes. Have a great night, everybody. Be well.
Bye.
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 Oh God, it's been so long. How do I do this?
You hit the stop stream button.